Hello students, I am Padmini. I welcome you all to this basics of grammar. So as you know, my dear students, this letter writing is an important topic in the English writing skill. Not only for the students, everyone must know how to write a letter. So there are two types of letters. One is formal letter and another one is informal letter. So while writing a formal letter, we have to follow the letter writing format. So what is a formal letter? A formal letter can be written for various reasons. So in this video, my dear students, in this video, we will cover the formal letter format written for different purposes. And on the other hand, an informal letter is written to one's friends, family or relatives. So as an informal letter is not an official letter, one does not have to follow the informal letter format. So here we will discuss the samples of letter writing, and the letter writing means the informal letter writing and the formal letter writing. So the question comes here, then what is a letter? A letter is one person's written message to another pertaining some matter of common concern, that is known as letter. So we can say a letter is one person's written message to another and pertaining to some matter of common concern, that is a letter. So my dear students, then what is a formal letter? A letter written for a formal purpose is called a formal letter. It addresses a serious issue. So let us discuss the types of formal letters. So what are the types of formal letter? So letter writing to editor, letter writing to principal, these all comes under these types of formal letter. So we can say the letter to the editor, letter to the government body, letter to the police, letter to the principal, order letter, complaint letter, inquiry letter, business letter, application letter for job, letter to the bank manager, then invitation letter, resignation letter, leave application for special occasions like marriage, birthday, leave application for maternity. This all comes under our formal letter. So let us discuss what is the format of this formal letter. So my dear students, let us discuss formal letter format. So we can see the following points need to be taken into consideration while writing a formal letter. So a formal letter strictly follows the prescribed format for formal letter writing. The use of colloquial words, abbreviations and slang languages should be restricted while writing the formal letters. A formal letter must be precise to the point. The subject line is very important in a formal letter. The formal letter format is as follows, like sender's address. The address and contact details of the sender are written here. Include email and phone numbers if required or if mentioned in the question. Otherwise, no need to write. Then date. The date is written below the sender's address after leaving one space or one line. Next, the receiver's address. The address of the recipient of the mail, means maybe the principal, maybe the officer, maybe the editor, you must write here. Then next, the subject of the letter. The main purpose of the letter forms the subject. It must be written in one line. It must convey the matter for which the letter is written. Then salutation. Salutations means sir, respected sir, madam, like this you have to write. Then comes body. The matter of this letter is written here. It is divided into 3 paragraphs as follows, like in paragraph 1. Introduce yourself and the purpose of writing the letter in brief. In paragraph 2, give details of the matter. In paragraph 3, conclude by mentioning what you expect. For example, a solution to your problem or to highlight an issue in the newspaper, etc. The next, that is known as the complementary closing, means the concluding part. And at last, you have to write the sender's name, signature and designations. You can see here the format of the formal letter. Means first the sender's address, second date, then receiver's address, subject, then salutation, then body of the letter, then complementary closing, and at last sender's name, signature and designation. Okay, next comes the informal letter writing. So what is an informal letter writing? So a letter written for an informal purpose is called an informal letter. So it is written for a casual purpose. So now let us discuss the types of informal letter. Letter to parents, letter to siblings, letter to friends, letter to classmates and letter to neighbors. This all includes in informal letter writing. Next, we are going to discuss, my dear students, the format of informal letter writing. So the following points need to be followed while writing an informal letter. An informal letter does not strictly follow the prescribed format. The first thing, the language of an informal letter must be friendly and casual. An informal letter can have extra information. The subject line is not required at all in informal letter. And the informal letter format is as follows. Like address, the address of the sender is followed by that of the receiver. Then date. The date is written below the address after leaving one line. Next, salutation means greeting. Dear, hello, hi. You can use your own words, your own expressions. Next, body. The matter of the letter is written here. It is divided into 3 paragraphs as follows. Like paragraph 1, that is beginning. Paragraph 2, that is the main content you have to write. And paragraph 3, that is ending. At last, the sender's name and signature. My dear students, you can see here the format of informal letter. Like address, date, salutation, next body of the writer, and at last sender's name and signature. My dear students, now we have learned the basics of communicating via letters and the types of letters as well. So let us focus on some tips for the actual letter writing. So first point, that is identify the type of letter. The most important thing is that you must identify the type of letter. This obviously is the first step of the letter or your letter writing process. You must be able to identify the type of letter you are to be writing. This will be dictated by the person's the letter's address to the information that will be conveyed through the letter. Second point, that is make sure you open and close the letter correctly. So opening a letter in the correct manner is of utmost importance. The formal letters open with a particular structure and greeting that is formal in nature. So informal letters can be addressed to the person's name or any informal greeting as the writer wishes. Next, that is establish the main intent of the writer. Means once you start writing, make sure to get to the point as soon as possible, especially in formal letters. It is important to immediately make clear the purpose of the letter. And next, that is be careful of the language. A letter is always supposed to be polite and considerate, even if it is a complaint letter. The point must be made in a careful and courteous manner. So it is necessary to use polite expressions and civil language in all types of letters. And the most important point is, or tips you can say, that is the length of the letter. And the other important factor, this is the consider the length of the letter while you are writing. It should be kept in mind that formal letters are generally to the point, precise and short. Lengthy formal letters tend to not have the desired effect on the reader. The length of an informal letter is determined by the message in the letter and the relation to the recipient. So my dear students, now it comes the practice time. So first we are going to discuss a formal letter. So the question is on the board. So write a letter to the editor of an English daily, making a plea to the common people to switch over to solar energy to conserve electricity and limit electricity bills. So my dear students, let us discuss the answer. So first, Paraveda, Jaipur. It's 26th March 2021. The editor, Hindustan Times, Jaipur. Then subject, evoking awareness towards solar energy. Then sir, through the column of your reputed newspaper, I wish to make the people aware of the growing need and demands of solar power. We all know that our earth is showing signs of a patient and declining health, and it is due to excessive pollution on our planet. Man has a desire to live a very luxurious life, and for that only he is over consuming electricity. He does not realize that the overuse would exhaust the treasure. We must conserve electricity, which is the need of the hour. But this can be done. This can be done only if we start using the solar power systems. Various kinds of solar systems like solar cooker, solar lantern, solar heating and solar system, solar water heater. Many things that are available in the market. These solar systems are at the same time non-polluting. They are economically and available in different sizes. So I request you to publish this letter in your newspaper to make people aware of the need of conserving electricity and limiting electricity bills. Public must pay attention to the direct need of switching over to the solar energy. At last, thanking you. Yours sincerely, and your name you have to write there. So now again the practice time. Now we will write the informal letter. So you are Sanjana or Sanjay. So write a letter to your friend, that is Mohan or Mahita, inviting her or him to your birthday party. Give details regarding the day, time, venue, etc. And at the same time, add interesting details like theme, dress, code, etc. Paravada, Jaipur. Date 26th March 2021. So dear Mohit, hi. You are invited to my birthday party on 26th March 2021. The party will be at Archie's Place, Nehru Park, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. As the party is based on the Spider-Man theme, please wear a dress in red-black color combination. It will be fun as I have arranged a mask game, a spider web game, and a never seen before neon light and music show. It will be fun as I have arranged a mask game, a spider web game, and a never seen before new light and music show. I am very excited as I will wear a special Spidey costume designed by my sister. Please come as it will be good to have your company also. And at the same time, you bring your brother. So waiting for your confirmation. And at last, you will write Sanjay. So my dear students, this is the type of letter writing. The formal letter writing.